Gentlemen, war is mankind's constant. Since there have been men, there have been wars that have been fought by those men. And those men have always sought the technological advantage. You bring a sword, he brings a spear. You bring a bow, they forge armor. Eventually you figure out how to mix some chemicals together and you get gunpowder, and that suit of armor is now worthless. In today's landscape, a little FPV drone can take out a tank worth millions of dollars. So what does mankind do? We invent the counter to the drone. Something cheap, something affordable in relative terms, but taking out something cheap and deadly. I present to you the 5.56 anti-drone round. Now we'll dive deeper in the video, but the quick synopsis of what this is it's a 5.56 round, goes into your regular fighting rifle, whatever you be using, standard mags, nothing crazy, but it fires multiple projectiles, holding a relatively tight grouping over different distances. It's actually quite impressive. We've been shooting it before even doing the intro, and I am flabbergasted. There's the L and K projectiles. The L stands for longer distance, taking longer shots at something flying around. You get 5 projectiles from that, and the K, you get 8, for a little bit closer distances. The science and the naming, I don't understand it. I'm actually getting torn up by flies right now. We're gonna shoot these things real quick. I wanna see what the grouping is like from different barrel lengths. And to start off, I wanna have the analog of a shotgun. Got a 9 pellet shotgun shell, just for the heck of it. I would use it to shoot down drones. Next up, we have the 7-point-something inch MCX with the L round. It's gonna be the 5 shot or 5 projectiles that you get from the round. The eyes see it, but the mind does not believe it. I believe the 11.5 Bren 2. And then last, but most certainly not least, the beloved 20-inch M16 A2. Let's hope my shooting was up to snuff. Let's go check out those results. The administrative results. Here's the shotgun. You can see there's some impacts on the paper, really small, but not impressive whatsoever. Now we come over to the MCX. We got 2 holes. I think I was aiming like rough center mass. That's from the 7-something inch barrel. Now we got the 11.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on paper. Okay. And then we have the 20-inch M16 A2. The grouping's a lot tighter with 1 flyer. I'm guessing since I was aiming higher, the 5th round went off into the ether. It's actually really crazy. Science. You are experiencing it from someone that barely passed science class. It's a very unassuming 5.56 round, my lord. But within it holds great power. Gentlemen, I know I caught you on the toilet drinking your coffee, eating your beer. Do me a solid. Go ahead and do a little like and subscribe. But most importantly, leave me that comment in the comment section down below. Your comment is a sacrifice to the algorithmic gods, because YouTube is not a big fan of what we got going on here. So I do appreciate it. And I read those comments when I'm on the toilet myself. All right, back to the video. All right, we're at 101 meters with the L shot. I got 5 rounds in the mag. We're gonna do 5 shots on some butcher paper. Because the M16 out of the 20-inch was the winner of the tightest grouping, I want to see what this looks like from a more opened up distance. Let's go check it out. Oh, I think I shot the camera, Colton.
Better not have.
Is it your camera, my lens?
Yeah.
We both suffer in this equation. 5 shots, 25 projectiles. Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh, dude. Look at this spread. This is insane. $18, $19. This is wild to think about. So with your rifle, take a mag, pop it in. You have some pretty good chances of hitting the equipment that keeps a drone in the air just from your rifle that you'll be using already. Like the grouping from 100 yards, you know, I'm aiming rough like right here, and this is the group that you're getting. It's funny that within shooting, we often think we want really tight groupings, but in this scenario, you want like a more open grouping. Not like crazy wild, but you want like a predictable wide group for what you're doing. It's insane. Was this here before? No. So 21. So of that I can count and see, it's like we got 21 accounted projectiles on this space right here. So once you do spot the drone flying around, you start zipping towards it. It's like a whole flak battery coming from one mag within a certain distance. All right, we have a mostly full wrap. Bunch of cute boys watching, dude.
Sorry.
All right, we have a mostly full mag of Ks and Ls, K being the 8-shot, Ls being the 5-shot. We're just gonna do a little mag dump. I wanna see what this cardboard looks like. I can see the daylight. I can see the daylight. Holy moly, Batman. That is Swiss cheesed. I think there are more implications than just anti-droning with these bad boys. Holy moly. I'm not counting all that, but that is an insane amount of holes from how many rounds I just put on the paper. My God. I'm like kind of legit flabbergasted a little bit seeing it IRL. Like you guys told me about this, but now like taking it out and putting it on paper, that is insane. That was from about 20-ish yards away. You may have just destroyed the shotgun market. Who knows? I've seen a lot of things in my days. This is the first to me. I am actually like shooketh to my core with how gnarly that target looks just from what, 16 rounds?
Something like that.
You'll have to put the counter in. Oh. All right, give me more, give me more.
Heads up. Dude, it's stuck to my hand.
Swing, bada, 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 swing. Ugh. We're back, baby. We've never been so back.
That is the sickest thing I've ever seen. Admin or pew view?
I'm coming for you. Now, we probably should explain, as we're ripping off these rifle rounds into the sky, you may be worrying about safety. So with these rounds, the energy tapers off pretty quickly, whereas normally it'd be a very unsafe thing to do. Under these circumstances with this type of projectile, it's okay. Trust me, it's okay.
These things don't come back down, that's the reason.
Cooked them.
Throw it.
I'm getting dialed in.
Pull.
I wasn't dialed in. 2 rounds left.
You hit it on the second shot of that one.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I guess that's the whole point of having a 5.56 mag full of these things.
Right.
Yeah. Clearly, I need more anti-drone training. Speaking of, I said we throw up some drones and take them out. All right, we have our little drone, a tiny drone. Probably a lot smaller than what you would encounter, armed with munitions, but it's a good analog to see what we can do with these rounds. I'll start turned around so I don't know where it's at. Die! I hate drones. But we got him. It took a few shots to definitely dial in where it was at. But I mean, that's the whole idea where you hear a drone, there's a threat that presents itself. You dump the current load in your gun, throw in that anti-drone mag, and then you take out a freaking FPV drone or whatever's coming at you. The implications of this are wild.
What implication?
Another drone, please, if you will, my good sir. Finally, a method of years of academy training not being wasted by some Zoomer that was too good at Call of Duty. Do your worst, sir. Do your worst. Okay, that was too good of a worst. Badlands. To be clear, we're using a semi-automatic trigger. YouTube manual reviewer. This is for scientific purposes. We are on a professional range. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yo! What kind of YouTube showman would I be if I didn't give you a watermelon analog? Fantastic. It's the simplest things in life that you often derive the most pleasure from. Good food, good loving, exploding watermelons with expensive anti-drone rounds. What more does a guy need, fellas?
That's it for me, really.
Now, obviously, the implications of this are massive in a modern day setting. Well, once you needed to carry around a whole ass shotgun if you want to try and have a decent attempt at taking down a drone. Now you simply just throw in a new mag. I can foresee this thing being just gangbusters with belt-fed weapon systems, where you pretty much have a built-in just wall of lead taking on any drone coming near you and your pals. This is some exciting stuff. It's fun to see the counter to things that we thought like, oh my God, are we just gonna use drones now? No. I mean, we are gonna use drones, but they're not the only thing that's gonna stop you if guys have this kind of thing on them. Tit for tat, fellas, warfare. Gentlemen, this video is sponsored by Americana Pipe Dream Apparel. Fantastic young Zoomers getting after the milsurp space and arena. They have, of course, a plethora of milsurp clothing and equipment, a whole bunch of esoteric stuff, and some even American-made clothing, which is a big deal. They also have other stuff like e-bikes. I used mine at a Area 2 USPSA match so I can get around because my knee was hurting and I felt old. If there's any reason you need an e-bike, I guess it's that. And to terrorize your HOA. Code AMI gets you 10% off your order. Gentlemen, Black Friday is right around the corner and Optics Planet has you covered. And of course, Badlands Munitions, the ammo sponsor of the channel. I'm a big fan of ammo and they help keep the channel supplied to keep these videos going for you guys. 9mm, 300 Blackout, 5.56, 7.62, a bunch of stuff that you can run in your gun that will have a good time on the range. Local Arizona company, and I appreciate them very much. Jacob, I need you to try and kill me with this thing, bro. There we go. That was way easier. Woo!
Dude, nice job. You just saved our squad.
We're alive, dude. I'm gonna go tear up the local RC park. The RC plane enthusiasts never know what hit them.
The FAA is like, straight to jail.
Straight to jail. This is a joke, FAA. Now, this is the size of the target we were shooting at with a 5.56 projectile. This is pretty crazy to think about taking one of these out of the air with a rifle round. Traditionally, trying to do this with just a regular projectile would be very hard, and I wouldn't be shooting at this angle that we would be because it'd be very unsafe. So to me, this is very mind-boggling and a very exciting thing to have to show off to you guys. Now, I want to bring on one of the owners of the company and have him explain some more about it. Get over here.
What's up, brother?
Introduce yourself to the camera, please.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm one of the owners of Unlimited Ammo and one of the owners of Drone Round.
Now, this is a very exciting thing to me. This is obviously wild to see. I knew of anti-drone rounds before, but the level of practicality, the level of logistical lifeline, the level of just overall how well are they actually going to work out in the wild. This is my first experience with them, and so far I am actually very impressed. It takes a lot to impress me now, so good job.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's not a new thing. We know that drone warfare and small aerial threats have been a thing, like really common. There's other countries right now trying their best to create product that is nowhere near as good as ours. We've perfected it, we've patented it. This operates just like no modifications to any type of rifle. You can shoot it suppressed and it's just ready to go.
The tactical implications of this to me are very, very impressive. You know, I don't know if it'll get rid of the shotgun entirely, but it feels like a very good option for, because a shotgun has now like a very good special place in my heart, the amount of violence you can use a shotgun with. Seeing something like this though, you're getting shotgun-like results that I mean, with patterning so far, I'm not sure about ballistics when it hits a target at a certain distance.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing in comparison between the 12 gauge. I'm a huge shotgun lover, but this round, there's no comparison. When you're shooting a fast moving target, you have lead time with the shotgun because you have to pace it out in front. When you're double the velocity, you don't have to lead it so hard. So it makes
Can you tell us the number of the velocity we're getting?
Yeah, so this is 2200 to 2500 depending on the variant, where your normal shotgun shell is 1100 to 1300 if you're lucky.
That's wild. Now, we can't necessarily talk about price, but for how much these cost individually, I feel like it's a very good justification for taking out a drone, which is kind of like this, money answer to taking out even bigger, more expensive military equipment, right? You have like a $1,000 drone that takes down a multi-million-dollar main battle tank.
Exactly.
Now we have a very cheap 5.56 round that takes out this $1,000+ drone. I think my guess is number-wise, they're gonna be expensive, but for what they are, I think it's still gonna be extremely affordable.
Yeah, honestly, if you kind of compare it in like the reality of the rest of the military industrial complex of what we pay for different things, $15,000 drone, $1 million+ tank, this is pennies compared to any of that. And it's truly, the way we look at it as a company, as Drone Round, is like, at the end of the day, yes, it's really awesome to take out small aerial, lethal devices, but it's a life-saving tool that doesn't require a lot of modification or expenditures. You can throw this in the mag and at a super affordable rate, save tons of lives, which is really, really cool.
It's a very exciting thing to see kind of up close and in person and get to show off to you guys just yet another leap in technology in the world that we live in. Because, before this, we had the global war on terror. We're starting to see, certain factions use DJI style drones in conflicts, but then the war in Ukraine greatly ramps up how much of those drones are being used, different methods that they're employing them. And so the need for counter drone capabilities just gets surged through the roof.
For sure. We've been manufacturing and designing this product for a little over a year, and we've heard and tested just about every different variant you could possibly imagine and tested through 1 million platforms. This is the only true solution. Like, that's why we named our company Drone Round. It is like we're putting our American flag in the moon if we landed on the moon, saying that this is the ultimate solution for this.
Hell yeah. USA. I mean, if we landed on the moon, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bad joke. I'm sorry. The round itself, you were telling me it is a 90 grain projectile.
Correct. So that's what's really cool compared to a lot of different competitors out there, or you even look at the 12 gauge or other formats. A lot of people are saying, oh, why don't we just use EMP? Right now, the actual technology is getting blown apart by all the fly-by-wire drones. All these drones are fiber optic. So the only way to take care of them is kinetically.
Yes.
And if you don't have a kinetic solution that can be consistent and then rapidly deployed, it's not another platform like another 12 gauge, you're deploying in a unit.
Well, I was thinking about all those other anti-drone options, right? You have like super expensive, high-end first world stuff. Then you have like these other methods, just all the way down to simple as using a hunting shotgun.
Sure.
But then all those things have their trade-offs, right? It's like big, bulky anti-drone guns. You have these shotguns where you have to carry around a whole nother weapon system on top of all your kit. With this, it condenses down into the small ammo storage of your choice. And then if you need to deploy it, you rapidly deploy. And everyone in your group, if you're all running the same ammo, can throw those mags in or throw a belt of this style of round in. And now you have within, say, your squad, platoon, company, whatever you're running with, a massive wall of lead going around your guys for a chance to take down a drone.
Absolutely.
And with multiple chances. Like, that's really cool.
We view this as like almost the last line of defense for the safety of the warfighter. And the thing is, with comparing it all these other, other practical things like a shotgun, like you cannot gauge a small aerial drone like that at 50 meters. You just don't have the energy. No. You don't have the spread. When we're consistently taking down like these small aerial threats at 100 meters plus, like we haven't even put out there the farthest one we've hit yet.
And we're shooting very small drones.
For sure.
In this analog example today, we're not even shooting like payload style drones. That would be the real threat, because that'd be even more expensive video. Guys, balling on a budget, God forbid.
Yeah, you can't detonate stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And obviously you got a chance to see how it works in real life, like shooting the clay pigeon. Like, think about that application just alone. And the reality is, these FPV style drones that have like 1-2 pound payload, dude, they're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So to think of how fast can you reload, a rifle if you're wearing a chest rig, pretty quick. And you can deploy that really fast.
Yeah.
And if you can detect that at the 100 meters plus, you have a chance to survive. Where the other options are just, you can run drill after drill after drill. And we've done simulation to get our product to where we know the design point is the life-saving at the end result of the last line of defense, essentially. Defense technology is so cool, and there's not too many things that are associated with this cartridge that is like new and fresh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the latest advancement you've seen in this? It's been years and years and years. And rolling into like not just our 5.56, but our 308 and our 277 Fury minigun application.
That's right.
You have belt
We didn't
application.
even get there. We didn't get there yet. He was telling me, Justin was telling me that we have, they're working on 7.62 by 51 and 6.8 or 277 Fury rounds.
For the M250, and like, it's just simple math.
Can we do a future video?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I needed to hear.
Yeah, no problem. We need to do some ballistic testing too.
Okay.
Because the application of the drone round, even though it's coined drone round, and that's our primary purpose is serving, you know, our United States, but the application, we just converted a standard rifle into something so much more is. It's so mind-boggling, and the applications are truly endless when it comes down to self or home defense.
I'll take those. You get out of here. You get out of here.
Thanks, dude.
I needed this. So another thing I was playing with out here is the fact that our analog of drone is not the best analog for this situation because it's not necessarily like a payload style of drone. There's some cheap drones from Walmart that we can use to take down. It's not something like with an explosive payload, so you can see if we would detonate that explosive payload or not. Another thing that was happening out here is trying to shoot them down on semi-auto was a lot harder than saying using full semi-auto with an FRT or something like that. So those are two things I quickly realized. And talking to Justin, he's like, dude, honestly, trying to run this in semi is not necessarily the best idea. It's more so purpose-driven for being a high cyclic rate style of weapon, which makes a lot of sense because you're putting a drastic amount of lead on a fast-moving target, giving you the highest success rate possible. But if you're also a good shot, I guess you could do it in semi-auto. Maybe I just suck. Another very interesting aspect about all of this is I showed up, met the guys out here, brought all of my own guns for the most part, minus Justin's one AR build. Anyway, brought all my own stuff and took the ammo, threw it in the mags, and the gun ran flawlessly. Didn't have to adjust gas settings whatsoever, didn't have to mess with cans at all, just threw them in and the guns ran. That is pretty cool to think about, that you can just take something, okay, here we go, without even thinking, and it works. As someone that's a simpleton as myself, I appreciate that a lot. As soon as I have to start doing any sort of complex task, my brain falls apart. There's a reason I'm a YouTuber. All right, now this was our mag dump from the CZ Brand 2 from about 20 plus yards away. And one crazy thing that stands out is the sheer consistency of how it does. Now, 20 plus yards away, not that crazy. Where we start to see some more impressive is, say, when we use a 20-inch M16 at 100 yards, where now we are seeing a consistent pattern, a 90% hit rate with all the projectiles at 100 yards, that big grouping of lead, it's not lead, is it? Big grouping of projectiles at a different distance. That to me is impressive because there are rumors and rumblings of these different type of projectiles out there, but the level of consistency is the issue. So if you know you have a good consistent projectile or group of projectiles going out there and you can predict that where they're gonna hit, that is something that is really cool. Even if I did training of some kind, I would probably even use that butcher paper method, take your guys out there, set up the butcher paper at different distances, and then you can see the style of groupings at, 20, 50, I am getting buzzed up by it. Why don't we shoot more of these flies? Anyway, you can see the different consistency of groupings over different distances. That to me, there is so much about this. Like I'm legit kind of giddy where this is so fun and so cool. And I think this is a really exciting option. Now you're probably wondering, hey admin, I really want to see what this projectile looks like. And though I wish I could show you, I actually can't. We got to keep this a little bit close to the chest for, let's just say governmental reasons, okay? You clearly saw me shoot on this target a handful of rounds, I think 16 rounds total, and you saw how many holes were created. It works, but yet again, they're trying to keep this technology and information a little bit closer down, not out for everybody to know about. We're dealing with some secret squirrel stuff potentially. Now, to me, this is obviously very exciting technology. We only have, at least for me, a little bit of time out here. It's my first time ever trying this out, but I think with more training, with more, SOPs, whatever you want to call it, I can't speak to those guys that get paid to carry a gun, but if it was me, I would be working in a lot of training of like, okay, how do we counteract a drone? This is a good option. Now, going about taking your guys out training with these rounds to see and get them familiar with what it would be like to take down some sort of aerial threat. Because though we have now this option that is readily available and easily available to throw into a gun and use at a threat that would come your way, the enemy is also clever folks. They guarantee you they know of anti-drone style rounds. So their tactics and how they would go about taking on infantry if they suspect those guys having these style of rounds, right? Just because, this new thing exists, it's groundbreaking. War always kind of shifts and adjusts and it gets a little tit for tat. One thing I was thinking about just even being out here, yes, these are great for taking out aerial targets, but what if a drone operator, instead of doing an FPV drone flying straight in at you, went up higher and higher and now it really push the limits of that anti-drone round. You know, you have an option for taking that drone down, but I mean, that guy can still fly high. But it's like also he's maybe not gonna be a Zachary anymore, so that's kind of like a nice little safety net that you have. A lot of these thoughts are going through my head right now. All of that to say, I am very excited. I appreciate you guys watching. I got nothing else. Godspeed. Actually, let me try one more thing. Shit. Never mind.